Hi folks, we're going to take a look at question number 1 from the analytic geometry recap. So let's take a look at what they're asking us. So here they say determine the equation of the line. Okay, so first of all, even before I keep reading, I'm looking for the equation of a line. So that means that I'm probably going to be looking for a slope and for a point. Those are the two pieces of information I need to find the equation of a line. Okay, so let's see what this line, what information we have about this line. So it says that it has the same x-intercept as 3x minus 7y equals 2. Okay, so if I can find the x-intercept of this line, that's also going to be the x-intercept of my line. Okay, so that's going to be step 1 of this process, is let me find the x-intercept of that line. Okay, now remember that the x-intercept is the point where the y value is equal to 0. So all I have to do here is, in my equation, replace my y value by 0. Okay, but then, and what always happens is here we got 7 minus 0 is just 0, so I'm just left with 3x equals 2. Okay, so I can solve that. So divide both sides by 3 to isolate the x, so x is equal to 2/3. Okay, so the point on this given line, which is the x-intercept, is going to be 2/3 0. But since my line has the same x-intercept, this is also going to be a point on the line that I'm looking for. Okay, so this is step 1. I now have a point on the line that I'm looking for. Okay, so step 2 is going to be using that second piece of information. It says that it's perpendicular to the line 4x plus 3y equals 5. Okay, now we know that perpendicular lines have something in common with respect to the slope. The slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. So let me find the slope of the given line, and then I can use the negative reciprocal to find the slope of the line that I'm seeking. Okay, so here, if I want to determine the slope of this line, the easiest way is to rewrite this equation in slope-intercept form. So I want to isolate the y variable. So let me start by taking this 4x and bring it to the other side. So the 3y doesn't change. That positive 4x going to the other side becomes negative 4x, and then plus 5. And now I can isolate y by dividing the right-hand side by 3. Okay, and since I have an addition here, I have to divide both of these terms by 3. So this is going to be negative 4 over 3x plus 5 over 3. But the only thing I'm actually interested in is the slope of this line. Okay, the slope of this line is negative 4 over 3, but I'm looking for the slope of a line that's perpendicular to the given one. So the slope I'm looking for, the perpendicular slope, okay, remember that's just a symbol for perpendicular, is going to be the negative reciprocal of 4 over 3. So since it's already negative, the negative of a negative number is just positive, and the reciprocal is just going to be 3 over 4. Okay, and so now I have all the information I need to find the equation I'm looking for. I have the slope and I have a point. Okay, so I'm going to use slope-intercept form to work with this. So, my equation I know is going to look like y equals mx plus b. Okay, and now I'm going to input my x and y values from the point. I'm going to input my slope, and I'll be able to solve for the b value. Okay, so here I've got y is equal to 0. I've got the slope is equal to 3 over 4. The x component of my point is 2 over 3. Okay, and then here plus b. Okay, so first thing I'll do is I'll multiply these two fractions. So remember to simplify before multiplying, and I see here that this 3 will reduce with that 3, and 3 over 3 is just like 1 over 1. And this 2 in the numerator is going to reduce with that 4 in the denominator. So 2 over 4 is like 1 over 2. Okay, and now I can multiply 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 1 is 2. So not only was my multiplication simpler, but my final answer is automatically a fraction in simplified form. Okay, and now we'll just solve for b. So b equals negative 1/2. Okay, so my answer in slope-intercept form will be y equals my slope 3 over 4 x plus b. So plus negative 1/2 is just going to be minus 1/2. Okay, So this is my first answer, which is the line in slope-intercept form. Okay. Now if I want to put it in standard form, I want to bring the x and y terms on the same side and bring the constant term on the other side. So I'd like to keep the coefficient of x positive. So I'll leave the 3 over 4x and I'll bring over the y, which is going to become minus y. So I've got 3 over 4x, okay, minus y, okay, and here I want to bring this minus 1/2 to the other side. It'll become plus 1/2. Okay. Now notice what I did is I actually switched around the two sides of the equation, which is, doesn't change anything, but it's just nicer to have the variables on the left-hand side. Okay. Now, while we do have the x and y terms on the left and the number on the right, the one thing that we have that's not great is that we have fractions in our answer. Okay, and we'd like to have integers as much as possible for all our numbers. Okay, and we're going to use an old trick that we used to solve equations in the past, is we're just going to multiply both sides of the equation by the lowest common denominator, okay, and that'll help us get rid of all the fractions. Okay, so in this case here, the lowest common multiple between 2 and 4 is just 4, so I have to multiply the right-hand side by 4, and the left-hand side, the left-hand side by 4, and the right-hand side by 4. Okay, so let's distribute here. So when I multiply 4 times 3 over 4, it's like 4 over 1. The 4's are going to cancel out, and so I'm just left with 3x. Okay, so that's good. Got rid of one fraction. Now I'll multiply the 4 to the negative y. That's minus 4y. And then on the other side, 4 times 1/2. So the 4 here reduces with the 2 there. So I'm just left with 2. Okay. So there's my answer in slope-intercept form, and here's my answer in standard form. Okay, so just a quick recap. Okay, a few tricks that we use. So here when we needed to find the x-intercept and we had function in standard form, okay, the best way was to just replace y by 0 and then solve for x. Okay, recall that when two lines are perpendicular, their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other, okay, and when we're writing an equation in standard form, we'd like all our coefficients to be integers. Okay, that's it for this one.